Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Center, Saturday mornings at 10 on WILK. Well, Dean Myers is joining us right now, the Nanticoke baseball coach. Well, Coach, let's talk about your start this year with your Trojans, some wins under your belt. Tell us how far along you guys are and where you think you are compared to everybody else with the way the weather's been. And, hey, at least you've been able to get out there with your team.
I guess all teams are in the same boat. Nobody's got outside really in practice yet. I think we've been on our field one time for a full practice, and then of course the games. But we have one loss. We opened up the year with Wyoming Sem, and Wyoming Seminary took it to us the first game. We hit the ball okay that day, but they made all the plays, and all the credit goes to them. We've struggled offensively. That's one thing that we're going to have to improve on throughout the year. Is got to get our bats going a lot better. But our pitching has kept us in every game. We have Joey Olzek, who's committed to Division II school IUP, and we also have Kyle Pakinchak, an up-and-coming sophomore that has 3 wins for us right now.
Well, it's great having pitchers, and everybody's going to need them this year, especially when you're playing 4 and 5 games in a week. And who knows, in some cases, there could be 6 games in a week this season. I mean, you got a guy like Joe Olzek, and you also have the young guy who's a sophomore that's throwing for you.
We have all righties, actually. We have another kid, Josh Benscoter, who's a senior, pitched for us last year. He's only been on the mound for a couple innings this season. But, like you said, there's going to be a lot of games to be played, and I believe we have 7 games in 10 days. So, we're going to have to rely on some of our young kids to come in and get some varsity innings. We're trying to get them some JV innings now, but, a Cody Peastrock and an Eric Grzycki and a Jacob Shatley are kids that we're going to have to lean on going forward in the sophomore class. And we have another kid that's a junior right now, Jeff Montgomery. He has some varsity stuff, but just doesn't have the experience. So, it's just going to be a crapshoot, just like it is for any other team. Some inexperience on the mound, and just seeing what you get out of them, and hope they can, provide us some depth as we go forward.
Coach, you're a humble guy, and I'm sure you'd be like the next coach to say, hey, the kids are going to win the games, and it's the kids on the field, that type of stuff. But there's probably a little extra coaching that's going to go into it when you're playing 7 games in 10 days.
You're going to have to manage your innings with your pitchers and keep catchers healthy, of course, and keep them rested. It's not going to be likely you're going to want to put a kid out there for, 5 straight days to catch. So, you have to manipulate the lineup a little bit. And, but again, like you said, though, it is the kids are going to come out there, go out there and perform and hopefully experience and some good bounces here or there, we could get some wins.
Dean Myers, the head coach at Nanticoke, the Trojans, hitting the field for the Wyoming Valley Conference and playing some good competition. Coach, when you talk about that senior leadership this year, tell us a little bit about how they've helped rub off on some of the younger guys and what this team camaraderie is like for the Trojans.
Well, yeah, and that was something that we expressed to all of them in the beginning of the year. Was last year we had a really a good leadership group. From a Tyler Myers and a Mike Malashevsky and Frank Marcinkowski, even guys that sat on the bench that didn't get a lot of time, of Brad Giannis and Pat Duda, and Kyle Sorber. These guys, last year rubbed off on this group. Now, this group coming in this year, the seniors of Joe Olzek and juniors with Alec Norton and Stevie Kreitzer, we tried to tell them, look, you're going to have to get these younger guys and just tell them how we do things. And, at the beginning of the year, it was a little bit of a tough start for us. The guys we have this year aren't vocal guys. They're more lead by example, lead by how they play, and so they've had a tough time adjusting. But Joe Olzek and Tyler Koch and Mitch Romanowski, these seniors, have really taken some of these young guys and I've showed them what it's like. And like I said, Josh Benscoter in the same role. What has impressed me the most is the junior class and Alec Norton and Steve Kreitzer. They've been here since their freshman year. Stevie Kreitzer's been is a tremendous outfielder and has started since his freshman season. They have really stepped up now and have shown these younger guys what it takes and how to be successful on the field. And that, in my mind, most young guys learn a lot from the players just as much or even more from the coaches. And we're fortunate to have some young guys that are really good leaders, and then hopefully it does rub off the right way.
Dean, we need to talk about the sports in Nanticoke right now on the guys' side. Football team trying to work hard under Coach Bruce, and of course the basketball team with Coach Beggs. He's trying his best to get those guys going. Volleyball team seems like they're getting out to a decent start, and of course baseball. Tell us about what it's like to be one of the coaches there to coach the boys in Nanticoke and try to get these guys going.
Well, it's funny you say that because I've been telling a lot of people about that. The basketball team is got it rolling now, and they have some young kids that are really good. And Coach Bruza, I help out with the football team, and Coach Bruza has brought a different attitude towards the football team. And like you said, the volleyball team's doing well. Even the boys soccer, in the fall when they play, it's a very good atmosphere. We were down a little bit. The boys were in Nanticoke the last couple of years, and right now, winning is contagious, and it's really a blessing to have coaches around us that care about the kids and the wins and losses that come with it. But you have to work together. Me and Coach Bruza, we share a lot of guys, and we try to get everybody out for every sport. The same with Coach Beggs, and we try to share all the athletes, because when you come from a small school, you can't depend on kids to play one sport. And so here at Nanticoke, we try to get all the guys out for, even if you're not playing baseball, then go run track, or try to get everybody in tune with each other so that we can be as successful as we can.
And there's been a lot of success over the years. There's a tremendous tradition at Nanticoke. And even talking to one of the guys, Jeff Krasolski, who's out in Delaware Valley coaching lacrosse, he brought that up in recent times here on the John Mendola Show about being around a lot of those coaches at Nanticoke and how that tradition was kind of handed down.
Oh, absolutely. Coach Kashadis in the 70s in baseball, and, of course, Coach Pazinski in basketball, and the list goes down, Coach Zabritsky after Coach Pazinski, and of course Coach Carey. Great motivational guys that really bring it to you every day. And football, Coach DeStachio, he's a Valley legend. So me growing up, getting to be around those type of people is a big influence. And you try to tell the kids of today what it was like in the 70s and early 80s in Nanticoke. And it's, you just wish some of the kids, and I tell my own kids at home, you just wish they got to experience what I got to experience when I was a kid growing up here. The athletics was just second to none.
Dean Myers from Nanticoke joining us right now. We're talking baseball and a little bit more about their tradition there at Nanticoke, and just a really storied program. It doesn't matter what the sport is. Dean, as far as your self-evaluation right now about your team, here we are just past mid-April. Tell us about what you like about your team and what you'd like to see improve between now and when the playoffs come.
Well, the thing I like right now is, like I said, our pitching. We have two good starting pitchers right now that have started all last year, so they're experienced. Coming into this year now, they've had a full season under their belt on the varsity level. Kyle Patinchak is a sophomore; he's 3-0 right now. Joel Olzek, he has a win under his belt. We got Hanover coming up; he'll be starting against them. His ERA is like 1.2, and like I said, he's going Division II. Our fielding is very good. We had a lot of holes to fill, especially up the middle. We have Kyle Rossick that returned as a 3-year starter at shortstop, but we have a new center fielder, we have a new second baseman, we have a new catcher. So those things, and a new left fielder, but those things are things that I'm pleasantly surprised at how well we have done. There are going to be a couple mistakes, youthful mistakes, but for the long haul right now, we're pretty happy there. I would say the hitting has to improve. We get into spurts where, against Holy Redeemer, we score 5 runs in one inning, and then we only score 1 run the rest of the game. And that's been our major thing. We haven't been consistent hitting the ball every inning, or if we do get guys on, we just don't get that clutch hit to open a game up. Last Friday, we played against Myers, and we were winning 1-0 going to the last inning. Twice we had guys at second and third and didn't get that hit. And so that would be the thing that I would hope for. And again, maybe more outside time will help us get face and life pitching, but we got to get better with the bats if we're going to continue to win.
Dean Myers a little hard on himself. One practice outside, they got to get those bats working, but that's what good coaches do. They find the things they need to improve on. And Coach, you're doing a nice job at Nanticoke. My pleasure speaking with you. We wish you well the rest of the season.
I thank you, Mr. Mendola. And like I said to you all the time, all us high school coaches and what you do here for the Valley and the high school kids is top notch, and we really appreciate what you've done.
Well, I appreciate the kind words. It's Dean Myers from Nanticoke here on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.